The Spin-off Podcast Network.
K-pop to me means more than just listening to music. It's learning to be myself.
The Spin-off's new documentary, K-Pollies, follows 3 Pacific youth obsessed with K-pop. In a one-off documentary, see what they've found in Korean pop culture and how they bridge it with their own.
When you start dressing, looking different, everyone side-eyes you. But in K-pop, they're just like, no, like celebrate yourself.
Watch K-Pollies today at thespinoff.co.nz/videos. Made with the support of New Zealand On Air.
When the Facts Change is brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in partnership with Kiwibank, the bank for Kiwi looking to get ahead in business and in life. A bank that delivers expertise in banking know-how, smart advice for business owners wanting to invest, grow their business or diversify. A bank that adapts with technology through the lens of its people and customers. It is a bank with heart that is driven by its purpose. Kiwi, making Kiwi better off. So picture this. Imagine I'm going off for my first big holiday in a long time. I'm trying to forget about business, the economy, what's happening with COVID, what's happening with interest rates, inflation. But I have to tell you, I'm a bit of a junkie, particularly when it comes to big deals. A couple of decades ago, I actually worked in London for Reuters as a mergers and acquisitions reporter. So that meant I tried to keep track of the big deals, the huge takeovers, the investment bankers, the egos, the big swinging dicks throwing billions around trying to take control of things. It was exciting to watch, and occasionally a story would break out from inside the business pages and out into public consciousness. It's quite rare, and in the last couple of years, all the COVID and war and all those sorts of things happening, there hasn't been a lot of big business stories that have become what you'd call water cooler conversation, things that we all talk about and follow, like a soap opera. Well, on April the 14th this year, one of those stories cropped up. I was trying to forget about business, but I couldn't help myself. I turned on the national news at the top of the hour, and bang, right at the front, Elon Musk had launched a takeover bid for Twitter. Now, for most people, they'd probably heard tangentially of Elon Musk. They might have seen a Tesla or two, heard about the big rocket launches, heard about that time he put a sports car up into space on the top of a rocket. What a funny guy. Well, Elon Musk is more than a funny guy. He was actually, at that point in April this year, the world's richest man. $220 billion, mostly because of his controlling stake in Tesla, but also several other very successful startups over the years. And he's widely seen as one of the savviest, most influential entrepreneurial inventors that we've seen in recent years. At that point, he was widely respected and certainly was a serious character when it comes to running companies. He'd had his problems, and he's never been short of the odd controversy. He has this tendency to troll and to joke. You can tell he quite likes the spotlight, but really doesn't suffer fools gladly. And so this could be entertaining. And as we found out, it has been extremely entertaining, in part because of what's at stake. Twitter is more than just an entertainment vehicle. It's a place where politicians and journalists and celebrities make the news, and you can watch it happen in real time. And not only can the important people say their thing, but everyone else can say their thing at the same time. In fact, Twitter is quite a lot of fun for the crack, as I call it, the banter between regular people and sometimes the celebrities as well. It's a place where news is made, where opinions are formed, and where murmurations of opinion fly all over the place. It is quite the place. And so it punches above its weight, not just as a company. Elon Musk was bidding $44 billion for it. And he soon worked out, after that April 14th announcement, he was buying a pup. So he tried to pull out. Of course, by then, the board of Twitter realised they needed to grab this bid while it was on the table and make sure their shareholders got as much money as possible before the thing went down in a flaming heap. So Elon Musk was eventually forced to buy Twitter, and he did that, $44 billion. He then made plenty of threats and promises about what he was going to do once he got in the door. And so there was quite a bit of anticipation on October the 26th this year, when Elon Musk, after a successful takeover bid, successful in that it happened, it wasn't a plain exercise in the process, but once he was there, we all wanted to know, what was he going to do with it? Who was he going to sack? Who was he going to let back in? What was he going to do with the policies? So a whole bunch of journalists were standing there in the reception area of Twitter HQ in New York that day. Just imagine a marble-lined, cavernous space. You could hear everything. And across the other side of the room, a small man wearing a black T-shirt and jeans, carrying something, staggered in through the door. We weren't quite sure, but the closer he came, we realised it was Elon Musk carrying a kitchen sink. Have a listen. You get the picture. It's a big cavernous space, and there's a man having a laugh with a kitchen sink going into the Twitter HQ. In fact, Musk, shortly after, tweeted, as he does, quote, "Entering Twitter HQ. Let that sink in." Get it? He's a bit of a dad joker, I think, but he certainly has a lot of fun trolling everyone. And for the following 2 or 3 months, he has had an enormous amount of, well, I wouldn't quite call it fun, but he's done all sorts of things. Announced policies, reversed them within minutes, announced them on Twitter, sacked people on Twitter, let Donald Trump back in, although Trump hasn't come back on, in part because he invented his own social network and signed a bunch of papers saying he wouldn't go anywhere else. And Elon Musk has captured the attention. It is truly the great business soap opera of 2022. Would Elon Musk get Twitter? And once he got it, what would he do with it? Well, he hasn't disappointed. There's been so many dramas, so much sturm and drang as so many people went off Twitter, went back on Twitter. It's one of those places you just can't keep away from, in part because so much happens there with celebrities, business leaders, politicians. It's the place, remember, that Donald Trump used to fuel his rise to the presidency. It matters. And now we have Elon Musk, who was on April the 14th the world's richest man, destroying for himself a good $60 billion in value with all the drama. Not so much with Twitter, but with Tesla. And overall, Tesla shareholders have seen $600 billion worth of wealth evaporate in the last 6 months as Elon Musk arrived with his kitchen sink and proceeded to throw it around all over the place, destroying things as he went. That was the other big moment of 2022. Elon Musk staggering in with his kitchen sink. When the Facts Change was brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network, together with KiwiBank. Visit kiwibank.co.nz to find out how KiwiBank are making Kiwi better off.
Are you making the most of your KiwiSaver investment? Generate is an award-winning KiwiSaver provider with a track record of strong long-term performance. Making a smart decision now could add tens of thousands of dollars by the time you reach retirement. Book a no-obligation chat with a Generate KiwiSaver advisor today at generatekiwisaver.co.nz/getadvice. A copy of the product disclosure statement is available at generatekiwisaver.co.nz. The issuer of the scheme is Generate Investment Management Limited, and of course, past performance does not guarantee future returns.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.